diversity is extremely important, maybe the most important of all in many ways, both in terms of patient populations and the workforce. You know, ACRP recently has done some initiatives to try to diversify both, really, but of late, especially the workforce. Where do you think we'll be as an industry? You know, hopefully we're moving in the right direction, but what do you see maybe a year from now in that area?
Yeah, I think this one, so this one is the one that is not really amenable to a technology fix.
Mm-hmm.
This one is the one that also doesn't really count on regulatory flexibility. Regulators have looked for much greater diversity in clinical trials for a long time. I'm hopeful that, so we've looked at, or we're starting to look at, we at ACRO are really starting to look at kind of all the parts of the enterprise and the issue of diversity, and doing that with really, obviously within the context today of the concern for social justice and social equity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've all recognized for a long time that African American and minority patients are underrepresented in clinical trials. We should recognize as well that African American and minority populations are similarly underrepresented within the clinical research workforce and among clinical investigators. And so from our perspective, you know, all of these are sort of multi-determined in regard to causes. But I think where we as an industry really need to put some attention is on the clinical research workforce and on clinical investigators. I think the patient piece, while important, is a really big chunk to bite off. It is one that I think a number of stakeholders have tried to address over the years. And we've made some, but not nearly enough progress. I do think, though, that with the leadership of organizations like ACRP, I think we have to make it clear that clinical research as a career is in fact a diverse opportunity. It's an opportunity for nurses and physicians and medical technicians and the like to both participate and to help facilitate the participation of their communities. And I think that's really an important thing. So while as I say, this is one that I think really relies largely on the industry. I think this is not technology, this is not the regulators. So my hope, Michael, is that in the next year or two, that organizations like ACRP, like ACRO, like the National Medical Association, like the historically Black colleges and university nursing schools and the like, will really make some genuine efforts to address the continuing underrepresentation in the workforce.